So welcome back guys, once again I am in my computer screen. So let's click on this website. Hey, remember, Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio is different. Do not try to download Visual Studio. You need to download Visual Studio Code. As you can see, it's free, built on open source and runs everywhere. And here you can see the download options. If I click on this drop down, here you can see you can download it for macOS, Windows operating system, Linux operating system. I am a Windows user, so I'm going to download it for Windows. So I'm going to press the download button. And as you can see, our download process is started. It's take 1 or 2 minutes to download it. So I'm going to pause this video. So as you can see, our download process is complete. But before I try to install it, let's see the documentation. If you click on the setup option, here you can see different method how you can set up Visual Studio Code on your operating system. If you are Linux user, then you need to follow this method. Similarly, if you are Mac user, then you need to follow this method. And it's not a very difficult process. I am Windows user, so I'm going to follow this method. So now let's open the download folder and try to install it. Here you can see the exe file of Visual Studio Code. Then just press right click. And now you need to press open, otherwise run as administrator. You can choose any option. So I press open. If you have time, you can read the license agreement. Otherwise, you can continue with accept the agreement. And then you need to press next. And then you need to select the destination location. You can install it any folder or any drive, but I would like to go with default option. So I press next. And then it asks for start menu folder, and I would like to go with default option. So I'm going to click next. And if you want to create desktop icon, then you need to tick mark this option. With that, if you want to open your file or folder just using right click option, then also you need to tick mark this option. And then you need to press next again. And here you can see the additional task selections, what we already select in our previous step. And then I'm going to press install option. As you can see, our installation process already started and it's take little time. And here you can see our installation process is complete. And I'm going to uncheck launch Visual Studio Code. And I'm going to click finish. And you don't need this exe setup anymore. If you want to delete it, yes, you can. So we complete our installation and download process. In the next tutorial, we are going to open our Visual Studio Code first time. Hello guys, good to see you back. It's time to open Visual Studio Code. So here, I'm going to press right click and I'm going to press open. Here you can see the window. If you open this application for first time, you can see this kind of layout. Here you can choose your own theme. If you like to work with light theme, then you can choose light, otherwise dark, otherwise high contrast. I would like to go with dark, so I select dark theme. You can choose light, high contrast as your wish, but I would like to go with dark. These are all features of this application. And if you would like to sync with other device, you can choose this option. Here you can sync your application with other devices. And then you need to check for shortcut options. If you would like to work with shortcuts, then you can select this one. Shortcuts are very useful for productivity. It's reduce your coding time and increase efficiency. And then you need to check rich support for all your languages. Here you can see all the supported languages: JavaScript, Python, Java, TypeScript, C++, JSON, PowerShells, etc. And in this section, you can see how can you manage your code. How can you pick your folders, how can you pick your files, etc. And then I'm going to press next section. This is not the very special section. It's just tell you what can you do with this application. So I'm going to check all these options. For productivity, you can open side-by-side window. You can install Git. Also, you can customize your shortcuts. After check all of this, you need to press mark done. Now you can see these options. From this section, you can create new file. You can open a file. You can open folder. And also you can see your recent work in this portion. Also, it's not a very important page. So if you don't want to see this portion again, then uncheck this option and close this section. Let's zoom this application a little bit. Otherwise, you cannot properly understand navigation bar and our icons. So I'm going to press Ctrl+ and Ctrl+ again. I hope now you can see it clearly. So let's start it. Here you can see the sidebar and here you can see the navigation bar. Otherwise, you can call it activity bar. As you can see, our first option is Explorer. If I click on it, you can see no folder open. Here you can manage your folder and files. Our next option is Search option. From here you can search any keyword. Also, we have a replace option. If you want to replace any word or a character, yes, you can. Our next option is Git control. Otherwise, you can call it source control. So you can do all of Git related stuff from this section. Let's talk about our next option, which is debug option. If you are Python programmer or JavaScript developer, then it would be the very good option for your niche. You can debug your code from this section. Let's talk about our next option, which is extension. From this section, you can download lot of extensions. And also you can see your installed extensions from this section, installed. Extensions are very useful. It increases your productivity and save your valuable time. We are going to learn about it in our upcoming tutorials. Our next option is account option. In this option, you can sign your account. And then comes the most important option, which is manage. From here, you can get command palette option. Using command palette, you can do anything what you want to do. You can open any file. If you want to execute any function from command palette, you can. If you want to change themes, yes, you can. From command palette, you can do everything. Let's talk about our next option, which is settings. From settings, you can manage autosave, font size, font family, tab size. You can change lot of settings according to your niche. Let's talk about another important option, which is keyboard shortcut. Keyboard shortcuts are very important in Visual Studio Code Editor. From this section, you can find all the shortcuts. And also you can edit the shortcut keys. If you want to change any shortcut key, then you need to press this pencil icon. And here you need to type your shortcut. I will teach you later how can we change these shortcuts. Let's talk about our next options. Here you can see user snippets. Our next important option is color theme. If you want to change the theme, you can use this one. Suppose you want to go with lighter theme, then you can use this one. You can choose any theme, it's up to you. I would like to go with dark one. Dark default. Our next option is file icon theme. If you want to change the file icons, from here you can change the file icon themes. And also you can install file icon themes according to your need. So these are the most important manage option that you should know as a beginner. So this is it for this tutorial. In our upcoming tutorial, we are going to talk about menu section. Hello guys, good to see you back. Once again, I am in my Visual Studio Code Editor. And in this tutorial, we are going to learn our menu section. First of all, you will see the file menu above the Visual Studio Code. If I click on the file section, you can see a drop-down option. Here you can see new file. Using this option, you can create new file in your current working directory. And if I click on new file option, basically it's going to create a simple text file. Let me show you. Here you can see it's just create a simple text file. For now, I don't need this text file, so I'm going to remove it. Let's see our next option, which is new file again. If I click on it, you can see the terminal. Now you can create your new file using terminal. You need to press Ctrl N. Here you can see it create a new file, Untitled 1. I don't need this file, so I want to delete it. Let's see our next option, which is new window. If I click on it, here you can see it create another window. Sometimes we need multiple windows for our projects. Let's see our next option, which is open file. If you want to open an existing file, you can select this option. I don't have any file, that's why I'm not going to click it. Similarly, if you want to open a folder, in that case, you can select this option, open folder. And then if you want to open a file from your WordPress, then you need to select this option, open WordPress from file. And next, it will provide you the recent files. Using this option, you can select your recent work. And if you want to clear your recent files, yes, you can, using this option, clear recent file open. Let's talk about our next option, which is add folder to your WordPress. But before, the question is, what is WordPress? WordPress is the collection of one or more folders that are opened in vscode window. And from the next option, you can save your WordPress. And if you want to duplicate your WordPress, using this option. And then come the normal save option, save, save as, save all, autosave, and then come the important option, preferences. From this option, you can manage settings, online service settings, telemetry settings, extensions, keyboard shortcuts, migrate keyboard shortcuts, user snippets, color theme, file icon themes, product icon themes. And also you can turn on sync setting. Basically, you can control all of this option from these settings. Here you can see the similar settings in our manage option. Let's talk about our next option, which is close window. If you want to close this window, then just press this option. And our last option is exit. If you want to exit your Visual Studio Code editor, then you need to press exit. So this was the introduction of file menu. Let's talk about edit menu. If we click on edit menu, here you can see undo, redo, cut, copy, paste, find, replace, find in files, replace in files, toggle in lines, toggle block comment, and Emmet. These are all very useful options, but most of the time we use shortcuts for it. Let's talk about our next menu option, which is selection. If I click on it, here you can see select all. For that, to select your all code, you can press Ctrl A, and you know that. Then come expand selection. If you want to expand your selection, then you need to press Shift Alt right arrow. And next one is shrink selection. For that, you need to press Shift Alt left arrow. And then come copy line down. And then come copy line up. Using this option, you can create the line copy above the line. In the opposite way, we have copy line down. This is the most important option. And the opposite way, we have another option, which is copy line down. If you want to copy a line below the current line, in that case, you can use this option. Don't worry, we are going to learn all of this in our practical session. This is just an introduction video of menu bar. Our next option is move line up. Using this option, you can move a line upward. Similarly, we have another option, which is move line down. Using this option, you can move your line downward. And if you want to duplicate your selection, then just select this option, duplicate selection. And then come add cursor above, add cursor below, add cursor to line ends. Our next option is add to next occurrence, add to previous occurrence, select all occurrence, and many more. Let's talk about our next menu, which is view. From view, you can open command palette. Also, you can control appearance. This is the most important part. From this section, you can change your application layout. If you want to make it full screen, yes, you can. And also you can turn on Zen mode. With that, you can center your layout. And also if you want to hide your menu bar, yes, you can. Just uncheck this option. And if you want to show your sidebar, let me show you. If I check this option, you can see the sidebar. So, this is the one of the important section that you should remember. If you want to hide status bar, just untick this option. As you can see, it hides our status bar. Our status bar is very important, so I'm going to disable it. Appearance, I want to show my status bar. Also, if you want to hide your status bar activity, you can untick this option. Now, if you want to show the terminal, in that case, just go to View section, Appearance, and turn on Show Panel. Now you can see our terminal. Let's talk about our next option, Appearance, Show Side Panel. If I tick this option, you can see the side panel. For now, I don't want to show the side panel, so I'm going to turn off it. Appearance, untick side panel. Hey, we missed another important option, which is activity bar. Appearance, show activity bar. If I untick this one, you can see there is no activity bar on our left side. It hides our activity bar. I want to show my activity bar. It is very important for me. Show activity bar. Let's see our next options. View, Appearance, Move Sidebar Right. Here you can see the sidebar. If I press this option, let me show you. You can see the sidebar in our right side. But I want my sidebar in our left side. So I'm going to move it left side. Let's see what is our next option. View, Appearance, Panel Position. If I make it left, you can see the difference. Now you can see our terminal panel open left side of this display. So also you can change the terminal position. Appearance, and now I want to show my panel right side. So I'm going to press right. Now you can see our terminal right side of our application. But it is look good if we place it bottom. So I'm going to position it bottom. Panel position bottom. Let's see our next options. View, Appearance. Our next option is Align Panel. From this position, you can align your panel. Center, justify, left, right. Our next important option is Zoom in and Zoom out. If I press Zoom in, you can see the font size. It increases the font size. Also, it increases the layout size. Similarly, you can zoom out this section. Appearance, Zoom out. Let's see our last appearance option, which is Reset Zoom. If I click on it, it's going to reset our zoom and back to its default position. Our next view option is editor layout, and we are going to learn all about it in our practical session. Here we have some options: split up, split down, split left, split right, split in group, single, 2 column, 3 column, 2 row, 3 rows, grid, 2 row right, 2 column bottoms, and flip layout. We are going to learn it in our practical session. When we create our first file and type some code, then we are going to apply all of this. Let's talk about our next option, which is Explorer. If you want to turn on the Explorer, you can see this is our Explorer. This is not so very important one. Once again, I'm back to my view. Our next option is Search, means this option. And then come another important option. And then come another important option, which is Source Control Management. From here, you can control the version. If you are familiar with Git, then it's very useful for you. Our next option is Run. If I click on it, you can see the Run option. It's been debugging option. From here, you can run and debug your code. Let's talk about our next option, which is Extension, and we already learned about it. We can download extension from this place. Let's see our next options, which is Problem. If I click on it, it's going to open my terminal and redirect to problem section, as you can see. And our next option is Output. It's also redirect to terminal output section, then debug console and terminal. Let's see our last view options, which is Show Min Map, Show Breadcrumbs, Render WordPress, and Render Control Characters. We are going to learn about it when we start our code. Let's talk about our next menu option, which is Go. Here you can see Switch Editor, Switch Group, Go to File, Go to Symbol WordPress, Go to Symbol Editor, and lot of stuff. We are going to learn about it when we start our code. Our next option is Run. Here we can start our debugging, run without debugging. You can add configurations, you can toggle breakpoints, you can add new breakpoints, enable all breakpoints, disable all breakpoints, remove all breakpoints, and many. Our next menu option is Terminal, and it's a very important one. If I click on it, our first option, New Terminal. If you want to create a new terminal, then you can select this option. As you can see, now we have one terminal. But if you want to create another terminal, then go to Terminal section and create New Terminal. Now you can see we have total 2 terminals, this one and this one. Similarly, if you want to split both of this terminal, then you can select this option. As you can see, side by side, we have total 2 terminals. Our next option is Run Tasks. If you want to run your tasks in your terminal, then you can select this option. Then come Run Build Tasks, Run Active Files, and also you can run your selected code using this option, Run Selected Text. And then come Show Running Tasks, Restart Running Tasks, Terminate Tasks. At last, we have Configured Tasks, Configure Default Build Tasks. Let's talk about our last menu option, which is Help. If I click on it, first it shows Get Start. If I click this option, you can see the Get Start page. Next, we have Show All Commands. Here you can see all the commands in our terminal. And then come Documentation, Editor Playgrounds, Release Note, Keyboard Shortcut Preference. And you can see video tutorials and tips. And if you want to see the version of your application, just click About section. Here you can see the version 1.65.2. Also, if you want to update your application, here is the options. Check for updates. So, this is the little introduction of our menu section. We are going to learn more about it when we start our practical code. Hello guys, good to see you back. Once again, I am back in my Visual Studio Code editor. And in this tutorial, we are going to learn how we can create project folder and open project folder. So let's see how it's work. At first, you need to click on Explorer icon. If you already have a project, then you can press Open Folder. I don't have any project. So, inside my download folder, I want to create another folder. New folder. And my folder name is vsdemo. And I'm going to select this one. Now you can see a panel. It asks, do you trust the author of this file in this folder? If you trust this folder, then check this one. And click this button. Yes, I trust the author. That's it. Now you can see in our Explorer section, we are in our current working directory. And our directory is vsdemo. And this is our project folder. At first, I'm going to show you how can we create folder in our current working directory. To create a folder in our current working directory, we need to click in this icon, in the folder icon, this one, New Folder. If I click on this, it asks a folder name. Now we need to pass a folder name. And our folder name is CSS. Once again, I want to create another folder, which is JS, JavaScript. Otherwise, you can create new folder using right-click on your current working directory. Just right-click on it, and here you can see the option, new file or new folder. I want to create a new folder. Just click on new folder and type your folder name. I want to create a folder for media, so I want to type media. So as you can see, we create total 3 folders, CSS, JS, and media. Suppose I want to create another folder inside the media folder. In that case, we need to select the media folder. Just click on media folder. And now you can see the arrow sign. It's downward. Then again, click on folder icon and you need to pass folder name. And our folder name is images. Just press enter. Now, inside the media folder, we have images folder. If I show you my file manager, let me show you. Here you can see there is a folder named VS Demo. If I open this one, you can see total 3 folders. CSS, JS, media. And inside this media folder, we have images folder. I hope now it's clear for you how it's works. You need to remember one thing. If you want to create your folder inside your current working directory, then do not select any other folder. Otherwise, it's going to create your folder inside this folder. Before you create the folder, you need to click on outside. And then you can create your folder. Suppose you select CSS folder and try to create another folder outside this CSS folder. In that case, it's not going to create folder outside the CSS folder. So you need to remember, you need to click outside of this folder, then you need to try to create another folder. Now, let's create some file in our current working directory. For that, we need to click this icon, the file icon, new file. If I click on it, it asks a file name. And we need to provide a file with their extension. I'm going to create a HTML file. So our file name is index.html. If I save this file, you can see the extension. Here you can see we create our HTML file successfully. And now I want to create a CSS file inside this CSS folder. For that, we need to select CSS folder and then we need to press this icon. And our CSS file name is style.css. Style.css. And press enter to save this file. So as you can see, we create our HTML file in our current working directory. And also we create our style file inside this CSS folder. And using this icon, we can refresh our files and folders. And if you want to collapse all your files and folder, then just press this one, this icon, collapse folder in Explorer. You can see the result. We have another method that we can create folders. Not only that, we can create folder using path. Let me show you. New folder, I want to create a folder named demo. Demo / and inside this demo folder, I want to create another folder, which is SAS. If I click on it, here you can see inside the demo folder, we have SAS folder. And if I show you my current working directory, you can see the result. Inside this demo folder, we have a SAS folder. So following this method, you can create files and folders. And now I'm going to type some code in our HTML document. So here I'm going to type shift ! And then I'm going to press enter. As you can see, it creates a HTML boiler template. So this is the power of VS Code. We don't need to type multiple line of code for that. It already creates our meta tags. So let's type some code inside the body tag. H1. Inside the H1, I'm going to type hello world. And I'm going to save this file using Ctrl S. And also you can save this file from here. Go to file menu and save. Let's see our next option, which is search option. So I want to click search icon. From here you can search anything. If I search word here, word, it's going to search this word in your whole project. And as you can see, it finds the word in our HTML document. And if you want to replace it, yes, you can. I want to replace word with sir. Hello sir. SIR. And then I'm going to execute the replace. So I want to press this icon. Here you can see an alert box. Replace one occurrence across one file with sir. And I'm going to press replace here. Now you can see in my index.html file, it replaces word with sir. Hello sir. So from this section, you can search and replace your keyword in your whole project. Our next option is Git. And we are not going to cover this section in this tutorial. It's a different topic. Later, I'm going to create a separate tutorial for this section. And then come debug. We are going to learn this section later when we work with JavaScript file or a Python file. So this is it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we are going to cover extensions. What is extension and how we can install it and use it. Good to see you back, guys. Once again, I am in my Visual Studio Code editor. And in this tutorial, we are going to learn extensions. Now the question is, what is extensions? VS Code extensions let you add languages, debuggers, and tools to your installation to support your development workflow. These are all popular extensions. Let's install an extension, and our extension name is VS Code icon. So I'm going to type icons. This one. I want to download this one. If I click on it, here you can see lot of options. Here you can see details and feature of these extensions. You can directly install extension to click this button. And here you can find what is the actual function of this extension. Using this extension, we can change our icons, especially file icons and folder icons. So let's install this extension. So I want to click install button. After clicking install button, we need to wait for long time. And remember, your computer should be connected to the internet. As you can see, our extension has been installed. And now it asks for activate this extension. So I'm going to select VS Code icons. And also I'm going to activate it. So we successfully install and activate our extension. After complete the install process, you cannot see the install button again. You can see disable button, otherwise uninstall button. If you don't like this extension, you can uninstall it. Otherwise, you can disable it. So for now, I don't need this page, so I'm going to remove it. And now I'm going to jump into the Explorer option. Here you can see the icons. If you notice, you can see it's changed our HTML file icon. Also, it's changed our folders icon. For CSS folder, it displays CSS logo. And for JS folder, it displays JS logo. And if I open the media and images, here you can see images logo. It's helped us a lot to organize our file and folders. Let's install another useful extension, and our extension name is Live Server. This one, Live Server by Ritik Bey. If you are a web developer or a designer, then this extension is very useful for you. Let's install this extension. So I click install button. It's take time to install. So we successfully install our Live Server extension. And after install this extension, you can see an option Go Live. Basically, this extension is going to create a live server for your web applications. If you work with small web project, then you don't need bulky software like XAMPP, WAMP, and many more. So now, let's back to the Explorer section and try to open our HTML document with live server. Index.html. And I want to open it with live server. So, after select this page, I'm going to click on Go Live. As you can see, it creates a live server, and also it provides a port 5500. And if I show you my web page, here you can see it print our h1 tag, hello sir. And if you notice the URL bar, here you can see our file served by a server, not from our file manager directory. Now let's back to the extension section. At first, I'm going to remove this keyword from the search bar, and here you can see our installed extensions. Total we installed 2 extensions in our code editor. And from this section, you can manage your extensions. If you want to uninstall it, then select this extension and click on uninstall button. These are very useful extension for me, so I'm not going to remove it. I hope now it's clear for you what is extensions are and how we can download and install it. So thanks for watching this video. In the next tutorial, we are going to learn about command palette. Hello guys, good to see you back. Once again, I am in my Visual Studio Code editor. In this tutorial, we are going to learn what is the use case of command palette. From command palette, you can search any file. Let me show you how. Just remove the greater than sign and search file name. From here, you can search any file. And here you can see all of this file which is in our current working directory. Suppose you are working with a big project and you have lot of files in your current working directory. In that case, you can search the particular file using command palette. Just type the file name. Suppose I want to open style.css file. So here I'm going to type style.css. Style. As you can see, it already suggests the file name. Here you can see it's open our file. And if you use angle bracket here, then you can execute lot of functions like show incoming calls, show outgoing calls, and many more. You can add line comment, function breakpoint. Suppose you want to change the color theme of this application. In that case, you can use command palette. Just type color and you can see preferences, it's provide color theme. If I click on it, you can see lot of options. Dark Visual Studio, Monokai, Red. If I use Monokai, here you can see the theme effect. If you want to open command palette using shortcut, yes you can. Just press Ctrl-Shift-P. I want my dark color theme back. So, I'm going to change the color theme once again. Dark plus, default dark. For our next example, I'm going to open my HTML file. Here you can see I open my HTML file. But in your right side, here you can see the minimap of this file. Here you can see the minimap of this HTML file. I don't want to show this minimap in my screen. And if you want to hide it, you need to go View option and then Hide minimap. Now you cannot see the minimap. Let's show the minimap again. So I'm going to View option and show minimap. And now I want to hide this minimap using our command palette. So at first I'm going to press Ctrl-Shift-P. Then after greater than sign, I'm going to type minimap. Here you can see toggle minimap. If I click on it, you can see it hide our minimap. Similarly, if you want to show this minimap, just go to your command palette and then toggle minimap. Now it show your minimap once again. As you can see, I open a HTML document. And if you want to search any particular tag, yes, you can use command palette also. Let me show you how. At first, I'm going to turn on the command palette using Ctrl-Shift-P and then I'm going to remove greater than sign. And here I'm going to type shift @ As you can see, after type @ it suggests all the HTML tag one by one. Head tag, meta tag again, because we have total 3 meta tag in our page. That's why it suggests 3 meta tag. Then title tag, body tag, and h1 tag. If I select title tag, you can see it redirect to title tag. Similarly, if I open my JS folder, here you can see a script.js file. And if I open this JavaScript file, here you can see we have total 2 functions. Suppose you have lot of functions in your script file and you want to find a particular function, but it is very hard to detect. Then once again you can use command palette. Let me show you. Ctrl-Shift-P. I'm going to remove the greater than sign and here I'm going to type @ and here you can see it already suggests our function names. And our first function name is 2 Celsius and our second function name is my function. These are called symbols and it's on total 2 result. If I choose my function, as you can see it's redirect to my function. From here you can directly switch any variable, any function. From here you can directly switch to any variable or any function. Basically we use it when we have lot of functions. So this is the basic use case of command palette. You can do lot of stuff using it. You can open terminal, you can execute functions, you can add line comment and many more. So this is it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we are going to learn about settings. These options. Hello guys, good to see you back. Once again, we are in Visual Studio Code Editor. And in this tutorial, we are going to learn about Visual Studio settings. As you can see, in settings, we have total 2 options, user and workspace. And here you can set different settings for user and workspace. And here you can see lot of options related settings. Text editor related settings, workbench related settings, window related settings, features related settings, application related settings, security related settings, and extension related settings. Similarly, if you click on workspace option, you can see nearly same settings. And in this tutorial, we are going to change user related settings. Here you can see there are a lot of options related settings. We don't going to cover all of this in this tutorial. Basically, I am going to cover what we need as a beginner. As you can see, our first commonly used settings is autosave. And by default, it turns off autosave. If I click on this drop down, here you can see there are 3 options. After delay, on focus change, on window change. Suppose you write your code and after writing your code, you forgot to save the file. In that case, if you chose after delay option, then after some time, it automatically save your file. And if you chose on focus change option, then it's going to save the file when it lose the focus. And if you choose on window change, then the editor automatically save when the window lose focus. If you are always forgot to save your code, then you can choose this option. Otherwise, I would like to go with default settings off, because when I finish my code, I always press Ctrl S to save my file. Let's talk about our next settings, which is font size. But before, I'm going to open my index.html file. As you can see, by default, our font size is 14 pixel. And here you can see the result. If I increase the font size 22 pixel and then save this file, and then back to the HTML page, you can see the result. Now you can see the font size. Now it's look much larger than previous one. Let's back to the settings, and I'm going to use default font settings, which is 14 pixel. Because I'm going to show you the best method how you can increase your font size. If I back to the HTML page, here you can see now our font size is 14 pixel. If I press Ctrl plus, as you can see, it increase our font size. As you can see, with font size, it increase our application layout size. I want to say it overall zoom our application, but I don't want it. So I'm going to press Ctrl minus. I want to scale my font size using scroll. For that, we need to go back settings, so you can search the particular settings from this search bar. And our settings name is mouse wheel zoom, this one. If I check this option and then go back to the HTML file and press Ctrl, and if I rotate my mouse wheel, you can see the result. With my mouse wheel, it increase our font size. And if I press Ctrl and rotate my mouse downward, you can see it decrease the font size. So using this method, you can control your font size. Definitely, it's a very good method to control your font size. Let's back to the settings option again. And I'm going to remove the keyword from our search bar. And back to commonly used settings. Our next setting is font family. From here, you can change the font. You can choose any font here, but I would like to go with default one. Our next option is tab size. By default, our tab size came with 4. Let me show you what is tab size. If I show you my index.html file, here you can see the tab size gap. Here you can see the tab size gap. As you can see, if you count the characters 1, 2, 3, 4, it's kept total 4 characters. And if you want to increase the default tab size, yes, you can. Back to the settings. So from here, you can increase or decrease the tab size. Again, it's not a very important settings. Let me show you another important settings which you need as a beginner. For that, you need to click on text editor option. And here you can see an option named formatting. Just click it. Here you can see some important options. Format on paste, format on save, format on save mode, format on type, and many more. If you check this option, then when you paste your code in your file, then automatically format your code. Personally, I don't like this option. Our next option is format on save. If you check this option, then when you save your file, it automatically format your code. Let me show you the example how it's works. So I'm going back to my index.html page, and here I'm going to create a div tag. Div, and inside this div tag, I'm going to create span tag. Span, and inside this span tag, I'm going to create paragraph tag, P. As you can see, it's not properly formatted. So when I save this file, as you can see, it automatically format our code. So this is the use case of these settings. And there is another format settings, which is format on type. If you check this option, then while you type your code, it automatically format your code. Let me show you another important settings. So I'm going to click on commonly used settings. Here you can see an option named word wrap. Using these settings, you can control how line should wrap. What does that mean? Let me show you an example. For that, once again, we need to back to the HTML file. And here I'm going to type lorem 100. If I press enter, it created a dummy sentence using 100 words. And if I save this file, as you can see, it's completely blank. But the question is why? If you want to see your code For that, you need to move the horizontal scroll bar. Now you can see your code. As you can see, our content are overflown from this text area. And if you want to visible your content inside this area, in that case, you need to turn on word wrap. Let me show you. Go to view section and then check word wrap. As you can see, now your content is completely visible and there is no horizontal bar. Similarly, and if I uncheck this option, as you can see, again our content overflown from this typing area. So let's back to the settings, and if I turn on this option, word wrap on, and back to the index.html file, here you can see our content are perfectly wrapped. If you increase the font size or decrease the font size, no matter what, it's always wrap your content. Let's talk about our next settings, which is terminal font size. Now the question is, what is terminal? Here you can see an option, terminal. If I click on new terminal, and here if you type some text, you can see the font size. As you can see, it looks pretty small. For that, we need to search a setting, which is terminal integrated font. So I'm going to type here. So here I'm going to type terminal integrated dot font. And here you can see the terminal font size. If you increase the font size 18 pixel, you can see the result. Now our terminal font size is 18 pixel, but I would like to go with 14 pixel. And if you want to change settings manually, then Visual Studio Code provide JSON file. Let me show you. The changes we have made here, we can do the same changes in JSON file. If you scroll down a little bit, you can find options. This one, edit in settings.json file. If you click on it, you can see this JSON page. From here, we can change all of the settings. If you remember, we turn on our word wrap. That's why editor.wordwrap is on. Also, our format on save option is on. That's why it's written true. And if you remember our mouse wheel zoom settings, we check our mouse wheel zoom settings. That's why it's written true. And if you remember, we use an extension for our Explorer icons. That's why you can see workbench.icon theme vscode icons. So whatever changes you made, you can see all of these changes in the settings.json file. Remember, in settings.json file, you cannot see the default settings. You can only see the settings that you have changed. Basically, you can change any setting from this JSON file. If you want to turn off mouse wheel zoom, yes, you can. Just replace true with false. That's it. So in future, if you search something in Stack Overflow, then you might get a JSON data like this. And you need to use the JSON code here. And we may need to use the JSON code or some extensions in the future. So it's a very important file. You can find this file on your C drive, user, your PC, then app data, then roaming folder, code, user. And inside this user folder, you can find the setting.json file. So this is our settings. And you can change the same settings in your workspace also. But basically, I would like to change settings in my user, not the workspace. And these settings are enough as a beginner. Hello guys, good to see you back. Once again, I am in my Visual Studio Code editor. And in this tutorial, we are going to learn the most important part of this tutorial, which is keyboard shortcuts. To find keyboard shortcuts, you need to click on Manage. Then you can find keyboard shortcuts here. And just click on it. And here you can see all the keyboard shortcuts. I know you have already knowledge about keyboard shortcuts. These are most basic shortcuts. Copy, Ctrl-C. For cut, Ctrl-X. And as you know, for save, we use Ctrl-S. But did you know what is the shortcut to save all the file at once? For that, we need to find Save All. Save All. Here you can see an option, Save All Files. And as you can see, there is no shortcut created for this option. So I'm going to create a shortcut for that, which is Ctrl-S-A. It means Control Save All. And then I'm going to press Enter. So let's see how we can use this shortcut. So I'm going to make some changes in my HTML file. I'm going to provide a space. Also, I'm going to make some changes in my CSS file. Red to gray. And also I'm going to make some changes in my script file 07. And here you can see in my Explorer icon, totally we made 3 changes in 3 files. That's why it flashed 3. So let's use our shortcut and try to save all the files at once. And our shortcut is Ctrl+S+A. As you can see, after pressing Ctrl+S+A, it saved all the files at once. That's why you cannot see the number in our Explorer. If I show you my style.css file, it's gray. If I show you my index.html file, it's also save our HTML file. Using Ctrl+S, we can save only our activate file. But using shortcut, we can save all the file at once. Let me show you another useful shortcut, which is copy line down. This is one of the most useful shortcut. Shift-Alt-Down arrow. Let's see what can we do with this shortcut. So I'm going back to my style.css file. And as you can see, I select this line. And here I'm going to press Shift-Alt-Down arrow. As you can see, it creates the same copy below of this line. But I want to change copy line down shortcut key. For that, we need to go back the keyboard shortcuts. And here we need to press this icon, this edit icon. And now we need to make our new shortcut for copy line down, which is Ctrl+D. But the problem is, this command is already exist. And here you can see the command Ctrl+D, add section to the next find match. So it can make some trouble when we use the shortcut key. So we need to change the shortcut key. And I'm going to change it. I'm going to create a new shortcut key for next find, which is Shift-Alt-Down arrow. That's it. Here we have interchanged the shortcut keys with each other. Basically, I don't try to remember all the shortcut keys. I remember those shortcut keys that I use most. Let me show you another most important shortcut key, which is add line comment. It's a very useful shortcut key. Using this shortcut key, you can add line comment. By default, the shortcut key is Ctrl+K, Ctrl+C. Let me show you how we can use it. If I back to my style.css file and use this shortcut Ctrl+K, Ctrl+C, you can see the line comment. It add a comment in this line. But for this particular job, I want to create my own shortcut key. So I'm going to edit this one, which is Ctrl+Z. And I'm going to press enter. So if I back to my CSS file and apply Ctrl+Z, you can see it's also add a comment in this line. So according to your niche, you can find out your shortcut key and also you can change your shortcut key. This is the beauty of Visual Studio Code Editor. So this is it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we are going to learn about terminals. Hello guys, good to see you back. Once again, we are in my Visual Studio Code Editor. And in this tutorial, we are going to learn about terminals. From here, you can open a new terminal. If I click on new terminal, as you can see, it creates a new terminal. With that, if you want to create multiple instance, yes, you can. Just click on the plus sign. And it's create another terminal. You can create multiple terminal as much you want. As you can see, we are in second instance. And here I'm going to type some random text. And in our first instance, I'm going to type some number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just type the number and the text because when we jump into the another terminal, you can understand the difference. Sometimes we need both the terminals. One for front-end server, another one for back-end server. By default, this terminal use PowerShell, Windows PowerShell. Not only that, you can change terminal color also. Just right-click on it and here you can see the option, change color. For our second terminal, I'm going to use green color. Here you can see the difference. Here you can see now our terminal icon fill with green color. Not only that, also you can rename the terminal name. Just right-click on it and here you can see the rename option. And now I'm going to rename this terminal name and I'm going to type backend. Using color is very convenient to switch. You can identify your shell very easily. Now, if you want to split your terminal, I want to say at the time you want to open both the terminals, then click on this option, split terminal. Here you can see side by side it opened two terminals. For now, I don't want to split, so I'm going to delete this one. And if you want to move your terminal in your editor area, then you can use this option, move terminal into editor area. If you click on this option, our terminal move into the editor area. And if you want to kill your terminal, then you can use this option, kill terminal. Otherwise, you can use delete button, this one. And if I click on this drop down, here you can see PowerShell, command prompt, JavaScript debug terminal, split terminal, and many more options. Sometimes we need to open command prompt. Then, in that case, you need to press this option. So let's open a command prompt. So I'm going to click on it. Here you can see it's open a command prompt. And here you can see the difference between command prompt icon and PowerShell icon. Let me show you one thing. When I try to create a new terminal, by default it's use Windows PowerShell. But I don't want to make Windows PowerShell default option. In that case, you need to go this drop down option, and here you need to select your default profile. From here, you can select command prompt, PowerShell, JavaScript debug terminal, Windows PowerShell. So I'm going to select command prompt. And now, if I create a new terminal, as you can see, by default, it's open Windows command prompt, not PowerShell. For now, I would like to go with default one, so I'm going to change the setting, which is Windows PowerShell. Once again, if I create a new terminal, as you can see, it's create Windows PowerShell. And from this icon, you can maximize your terminal. If I click on it, you can see it's take whole space. And also, if you want to kill your terminal, then hover on your terminal name and press delete icon. Remember, if you close your terminal, it's not mean it delete your all the terminals. It do not kill your terminals. Let me show you. If you go back to the terminal section and click on new terminal, as you can see, with old terminal, it create another new terminal. Because we do not kill our terminal, we just close our terminal panel. If you want to kill your terminals, then you need to press this delete icon. And if you have problem in your code, you can check out through this problem section. And for output, you need to click on this section, output section. And if you want to debug your code, in that case, you need to press debug console. So this is the basic introduction of VS Code terminal section. I hope now it's clear for you. So thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for our next tutorial. Hello guys, good to see you back. Once again, we are in my Visual Studio Code editor. And in this tutorials, we are going to learn some good features that's going to help you a lot. As you can see, we already open our index.html file. And as you can see, we use classes in our tags. Container, class 1, class 2, class 3. But I want to replace all the class with ID. In that case, we have occurrence. I want to change all the class at once. For that, we need to select one of this class. And then, we need to press right click. And here you can see the option, change all occurrence. Otherwise, you can press Ctrl F2. If I select this option, as you can see, it select all the classes. Now, I'm going to replace all the classes with ID. Div ID. As you can see, it replaces all the classes with ID. This method is very helpful when you want to change your function name. Otherwise, any tag or wrong keyword. So, when you have to change any keyword at once, in that case, you can use all occurrence option. Just select the keyword and then press right click. And here you can see the option, change all occurrence. Let's talk about our next feature, which is go to line. As you can see, we have total 26 lines. And most of the time, we work with very big projects, like 1000, 2000 line projects. In that case, it's very hard to find the exact line number. But in Visual Studio Code Editor, it's very easy. Just click Ctrl and Z. It is the shortcut. And as you can see, it opens our command palette. And then after colon, you need to type the line number. I want to jump into the line number 9. So I'm going to press 9. As you can see, it already select our line number 9. And if we click on it, also it point our cursor in that position. Let me show you our next useful features, which is function definition. For that, we need to open our JS file. As you can see, in our JS file, we have total 2 functions, toCelsius and my function. And here you can see we call our functions. And also we open our function in our console. Assume that you have hundreds of functions in your code. And then it's very hard to detect where you create your function. In that case, you can use function definition option. Just select the function name and then right click on it. And here you can see go to definition. If I click on it, as you can see, it's redirect to our function, toCelsius. But if you want to open the function definition panel without moving, in that case, you need to select the function, then right click on it, and here you can see an option named pick. Then click on this option and select pick definition. As you can see, it flashes a new window and it is redirect to definition of this function, toCelsius. From here, also you can change your functions. After changing your function, you can save and then you can delete this window. So this is the power of Visual Studio Code Editor. Now let me show you our next feature. For this, I'm going to open another file, our style.css file. As you can see, we open total 3 files, but I don't need this style.css file, so I'm going to close it. But accidentally, I closed JavaScript file. It was a very important file for me, and I also forgot the file name which I closed. I need my file back, but in my current working directory, there are a lot of files. In that case, we can use a shortcut. For that, we need to press Ctrl-Shift-T. As you can see, it reopened our closed file. And we already learned about this option, which is split window. If I click this option, as you can see, it split our window, and now we are able to see 2 files at once in our screen. You can create multiple split according to your screen size. So it's up to you how many split you want. This option is very useful when you have wide screen. And now I'm going to show you how you can open your project folders. For this, I'm going to create a new window, and I'm going to close this one. Save. You already know a basic method on that how we can open project folder. For that, we need to go File menu, and then we need to select this option, Open Folder. From here, we can open our folder. This is our project folder. Just select the folder and then press Select Folder. As you can see, it opened our folder. But I'm going to show you 2 other methods that how we can open our project folder. So I'm going to exit this Visual Studio Code. For that, we need to go inside to our project folder, and then we need to press right click. And here you can see an option, Open with Code, and then you need to press this option. As you can see, it opened our project folder. And if you do not show this option when you right click on your folder, it means you do not check this option when you install Visual Studio Code. Let me show you another method that you can open your Visual Studio Code application. First, you need to go inside in your project folder, and then you need to type cmd in your folder path, cmd, and then press enter. As you can see, it opened your command palette. And here you need to type code space dot, and then press enter. As you can see, it opened our application, and also it opened our project folder. So this is it for this tutorial. In our upcoming tutorial, we are going to learn more shortcut keys. Hello guys, good to see you back. Once again, we are in my Visual Studio Code Editor. In this tutorial, we are going to learn more shortcut keys. Basically, useful one. Here you can see inside the parent container, we have total 3 div items. 1, 2, 3. But we decide to move our third div item above the second div item. Then usually we need to cut this one and we need to paste above the second div item. But we do not want to do that. So I'm back to the previous position using Ctrl-Z. And now I'm going to show you the shortcut key how we can move this line. If you want to move it upside, then select the line and then press Alt up arrow. As you can see, this shortcut key move our code upward. Similarly, if you want to move it downward, then select the line and press Alt down arrow. This shortcut key move our line downward. Suppose I want to move this container div inside this third div item. For that, we need to move it downward. So we need to select this line and then we need to press Alt and down arrow. You can see the result. And if you want to move it upward, press Alt and then press up arrow. Now let's talk about our another useful shortcut key. Suppose I want to copy this H1 tag, but I want to copy this upward using shortcut key. In that case, we need to select this line and we need to press Shift Alt up arrow. As you can see, it made a copy of H1 tag. By default, Visual Studio came with this shortcut key, and you already know that you can change your shortcut keys. Similarly, if I want to copy this line downward, in that case, we need to press Shift Alt down arrow. Not only that, you can copy multiple lines at once. Just select those lines, how much line you want to copy, and then press Shift Alt, otherwise up arrow, otherwise down arrow, according to your niche. As you can see, I copied 3 of this line downward. And if you want to comment out any line, in that case, you need to press Ctrl // As you can see, it comment out this line. And if you want to remove this comment, in that case, you need to follow the same shortcut key, Ctrl // And you can use this same shortcut key to comment out multiple lines. And now I want to select all the hello word one by one. In that case, we need to select the word, and then we need to press Ctrl, and then we need to press Ctrl D to select the next hello. And if you want to select the other hello word, in that case, you need to press continuously Ctrl D. It's going to select all the hello word one by one. But we have a better solution for that, to select all the word at once. For that, we need to select this word hello, and then we need to press right click, and we need to select change all occurrence. As you can see, it selects all the hello word at once. At the same time, we can change the word and we can type new word. But if you want to select the word one by one, then you need to press Ctrl D. Also, you can select multiple selection with another method. Select the word and press Alt, and then select the section where you want to select. As you can see, at the same time, we select total 4 lines. So this is another shortcut method. And if you want to cut any line, in that case, you need to press Ctrl X. And if you want to paste this line anywhere, you know the shortcut, Ctrl V. And if you want to highlight any line, suppose I want to highlight this title line, then we need to press Ctrl L. As you can see, it highlights the line. So these are all basic shortcut keys, and these are very important one. Definitely, shortcut keys are very impactful for our productivity. So this is it for this tutorial. Thanks for watching this video. Hello guys, good to see you back. Once again, we are in my Visual Studio Code editor. In this tutorial, we are going to talk about Emmet. It's an inbuilt feature of Visual Studio Code editor. So let's open our index.html file. And I'm going to remove all the code from this document. So I'm going to select all the code and I'm going to remove it. And now I'm going to show you our first Emmet example. For that, I'm going to press Shift !. Here you can see Emmet abbreviation. And if I press enter, otherwise press tab, as you can see, it creates HTML boiler template. So we don't need to type multiple line of code to create this boiler template. Now inside this body tag, I'm going to create h1 tag, h1. As you can see, if I press enter, it complete our tag. It's happened because of Emmet. Now inside this h1 tag, I'm going to type hello world. And now you decide to create 5li tag. For that, also you can use Emmet. Just you need to type li *5. If I press tab, otherwise enter, as you can see, it create 5li tag. And if you try to create a div tag with class, yes, you can. Let me show you how. Div dot, now you need to put your class name. Our class name is my class. If I press enter, otherwise tab, as you can see, it creates a div tag with class name. And our class name is my class. You can save lot of time using Emmet. It's a built-in feature of VS Code editor. You don't need to install any plugin for that. And also, this code editor comes with auto suggestion. Let me show you. So I'm going to open a JS file, script.js. And now I'm going to call a function. Here I'm going to call 2celsius function. So if I type to, as you can see, it suggests the function name, 2celsius. So this is the introduction video of Emmet. From the next tutorial, we are going to learn about Emmet in depth. So thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for our next tutorials. Hello guys, good to see you back. Once again, we are in my Visual Studio Code editor. And this is the another tutorial related Emmet. And in this tutorial, we are going to learn more advanced features about Emmet. At first, I'm going to remove this HTML structure. And now, I'm going to create the same HTML structure with different method. In our previous method, as you know, we type ! And then we press enter, otherwise tab. But in this tutorial, we are going to create the HTML structure typing HTML. HTML. As you can see, it's recommend HTML5. If I select this one, as you can see, it creates the same HTML boiler template. If you want to create a div tag with class, in that case, you need to type div dot class name, my class. This is our previous method. But in this tutorial, I'm going to show you another method. You don't need to type the tag name. Just you need to type dot my class. And then you need to press tab. as you can see, it creates the same div tag. In our previous method, we need to specify the tag name. But in this method, we don't need to specify our tag name. But it's only work with div tag, not the other tag. And if you want multiple class in your tag, yes, you can. Suppose I want to create a header tag. Dot, our class name is class 1. With that, I want to add another class. For that, you need to use dot once again. And then you need to type class 2. If I press enter, as you can see, it creates h1 tag with two class 1 and class 2. Similarly, if you want to create a tag with ID, in that case, you need to type div hashtag and your ID name, ID1. If I press tab, as you can see, it creates a div tag with ID1. And if you want to create class and ID at once, in that case, div, if you want to provide ID first, then type hash your ID, ID1. With that, if you want to provide class, then you need to press dot class name, class 1. If I press enter, as you can see, it creates a div tag with ID1 and class 1. As you know, HTML5 came with big tags like footer. In normal way, you need to type footer. But if you use Emmet, in that case, just you need to type ftr. If I press enter, as you can see, it creates footer tag. So we can use short form of this tag. Similarly, for header, we need to type hdr. If I press tab, as you can see, it creates header tag. Emmet came with lot of shorthand of our tag. And I'm going to tell about it later from where we can get it. Now, let's create a paragraph, P. And inside this paragraph, I'm going to type a sentence. This is para. So this is the normal way to type content in our tag. But if you use Emmet, in that case, you can type like this. Your tag name P, and inside the curly braces, we need to provide our content. So I'm going to type hello world. If I press enter, as you can see, it put our content inside this paragraph tag. So this is the benefit of using Emmet. And if you want to create this tag with class, yes, you can. Just you need to type p dot your class name, class 1. Then inside the curly braces, you need to type your text, hello world. So at the same time, you can create class ID and also you can put your content. Everything becomes easy after using Emmet. You can put your content easily. You don't need to remember your tags. And also, you don't need to worry about your closing tags. So this is it for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we are going to learn about more. So thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for our next tutorial. Hello guys, good to see you back. Once again, we are in my Visual Studio Code editor. In this tutorial, we are going to working with child elements. How can we easily create child elements with the help of Emmet? So at first, I'm going to select all the code inside this body section and I'm going to remove it. Suppose inside the div tag, I want to create paragraph tag. In that case, you need to type div greater than sign and your tag name, which is P. If I press, as you can see, inside this div tag, it creates paragraph tag. Let me show you this example once again. So after div tag, inside this div tag, I want to create ul child tag. Then inside the ul child tag, I want to create another child tag, which is li. If I press enter, as you can see, inside this div tag, we have child tag, which is ul. And inside this ul tag, we have another child tag, which is li. Now, div is our grandparent, ul is our parent, and li is our child. Now, with that tag, I want to put content at the same time. For that, we need to follow this method. Div, then greater than sign, after greater than sign, our child tag. Our child tag is P. And I want to put content inside this P tag. So after P tag, we need to use curly braces. And inside this curly braces, I'm going to type hello world. If I press enter, as you can see, inside this div parent tag, we have child tag, which is P. And inside this P tag, we successfully put our content, hello world. Now, let me show you another example. So I'm going to remove this one. And here I'm going to type div greater than sign, ul greater than sign. Inside this ul tag, I want to put li. Li, and inside this curly braces, I'm going to type item. But I want 4 li tag inside this ul tag. In that case, we need to use multiplication sign. Multiply by 4. If I press enter, as you can see, inside this div tag, we have ul tag. And inside this ul tag, we have total 4 li tag. This method was good, but this is not the dynamic solution. I want to say it repeat the item 4th time. It doesn't print item 1, item 2, item 3 because it's a static process. But with the help of Emmet, you can make it dynamic. Let me show you. So inside this ul tag, I want to create li tag. Then inside the curly braces, I want to type item once again. Item, but this time I'm going to use $sign. And I want to multiply with 4. If I press enter, as you can see, after item, it print item 1, item 2, item 3, and item 4. It dynamically put numeric value for these items. In our programming language for this job, we need to use loops. But in Emmet, in a single step, we can get this result. Remember, you can multiply your tag, just use multiplication sign. Suppose you want h1 tag 3 times. In that case, h1 multiply with 3. If I press enter, you can see the result. Let me show you another demonstration. But before, I'm going to remove this one. You already learned how we can create multiple child elements in a single line using Emmet. But this time, I want to put content in every tag. For that, we need to type our parent tag, div, then inside the curly braces, we need to put the content. This is div. Then greater than sign p tag. And inside the curly braces, I'm going to type this is para. If I press enter, as you can see, we successfully put content in our parent tag, also the child tag. Not only that, at the same time, you can assign ID and class to these tags. Let me show you. So I'm going to type div hashtag for ID. Our ID is my ID. Then greater than sign our child tag, which is p. And inside this child tag, I want to put some content. And our content is this is para. Also, I want to assign a class to this p tag. So I want to use dot and our class name is my class. If I press enter, as you can see, first it create our parent tag and it also assign a ID, my ID. And also you can see it assign a class to our paragraph tag. So this is it for this tutorial. In our upcoming tutorial, we are going to talk about siblings. How we can create sibling structure using Emmet. So thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for our next tutorial. Good to see you back, guys. Once again, we are in my Visual Studio Code editor. In our previous tutorial, we learned about how we can create child elements using Emmet. But in this tutorial, we are going to learn how we can create sibling structure in HTML with the help of Emmet. Let me show you the example, what I am trying to talking about. I want to structure like this. Div. Then after div tag, I want to create paragraph tag. Then after paragraph tag, I want to create h1 tag. Basically, we call it sibling structure. Now the question is, how we can create this structure using the help of Emmet. For that, you need to use plus sign. Let me show you. Div plus p plus h1. If I press enter, as you can see, after div tag, it create paragraph tag. And after paragraph tag, it create h1 tag. And if you want to put content and ID at the same time, you can follow our previous method. Let me show you. Div, I want to set ID, hashtag my ID. Then we need to use plus sign. Our next tag is paragraph tag. Then inside this paragraph tag, I want to put some content. This is para. With that, I want to create another tag, which is h1. So I'm going to use plus sign again. And after h1, I want to assign a class name. And our class name is my class. If I press enter, as you can see, it set an ID for div. Also, we put our content in our paragraph tag. With that, we set a class in our h1 tag. So using this combination process, you can create multiple line of code in a single line. So this is the power of Emmet. It definitely increases your efficiency. Let's talk about forms. How we can create forms using Emmet. If I type from, as you can see, by default it comes with action attribute. But with action attribute, also I want to define method. In that case, we need to type from colon. You can choose your method, get, otherwise post. I'm going to choose post method. As you can see, it comes with method post. And now I want to create input tag in this form. So I'm going to type input. Just input. By default, it comes with text type. Not only that, you can use shortcut for that. Just you need to type INP. If I press enter, as you can see, it already provides type, name and ID. But I don't want text input type all time. I want checkbox input type. For that, you need to type input. Then you need to use colon and you need to select checkbox. And you can see the result. Input type checkbox. As you can see, it suggests all the input type. Input button, input checkbox, color, date, hidden image, month, number, etc. And if you use input S, it provides input type submit. Now, let me show you another most important feature of Emmet, which is dummy text. Suppose I create a p tag, and inside this p tag, I want some dummy text. For practice and development purpose, most of the time we need dummy text. But we do not understand what we will write in it. Most of the time, we copy some line from internet. But with the help of Emmet, you can use lorem dummy text. Let me show you. Inside this p tag, I'm going to type lorem. And I'm going to press just enter. As you can see, it provides multiple line of dummy text. Not only that, also you can control the word. Let me show you. I'm going to remove this one. Once again, I'm going to type lorem. And this time I want total 25 word. So I'm going to type 25. If I press enter, as you can see, total it provides 25 word. If you want 300 word, in that case, you need to type lorem 300. And it's going to provide 300 word of para. Let me show you another example how we can use this dummy text with li tag. For that, I'm going to type div greater than ul. And inside this ul tag, I'm going to type lorem. And I want total 6 word. So I want to press 6. After 6 word, I want to repeat it total 4 times. So I'm going to set a class named item. Dot item. Multiply by 4. If I press enter, as you can see, inside this div tag, we have ul tag. And inside this ul tag, we have total 4 li tag. And it also put different dummy text all of this li tag. So this is it for this tutorial. I hope now you understand how we can use Emmet. So thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for our next tutorial. Hello guys, good to see you back. This is the last tutorial related Visual Studio Code. Can you see the blinking cursor clearly? Our blinking cursor is barely visible in our line. We can make it more visible. Let's see how. For that, we need to go to the setting option. So I'm going to click on this manage section, and here you can see the settings. And now we need to search a keyword, which is cursor. As you can see in our first option, cursor blinking. From here, you can control the cursor animation style. Here you can see a lot of animation style. Blink, smooth, pause, expand, solid. I'm going to select expand. With that, I'm going to change cursor style also, from line to block. And if I back to my CSS file, here you can see the cursor style, how it's look. Now our cursor is much more visible from our previous mode. So from this setting option, you can change the cursor style. But I would like to go with default one. So I'm going to select line and I want to select blink. Now let me show you other important options. Suppose you want to directly jump into the media folder and you want to open this media folder with File Explorer. If you want to open this folder in your File Explorer, just press right click and then you need to select Reveal in File Explorer. As you can see, it opened the folder. So this is a good option to open your file. And if you want to open your terminal in a particular folder, in that case, you need to select Open in Integrated Terminal. If I select this option, as you can see, it opened our media folder inside this terminal. We don't need to type cd command for that. We can directly open our folder inside our terminal. There are a lot of options that you can learn in VS Code editor. Over the time, you will become an expert. Now, let's jump into the documentation section. As you can see, once again we open the official website. And now, I'm going to jump into the docs section. From here, you can learn how you can set up this application on your Linux operating system, macOS operating system, Windows operating system, Raspberry Pi operating system. And if you jump into the Get Start section, here you can see some intro videos. How you can start this application. From this section, you can learn how to get started, how to code, some productivity tips, personalize, how we can use extensions. We already learned about it in our course. And if you click on Tip and Tricks, here you can see some basic tips and tricks. How can we use command palette? How can we use keyboard shortcuts? And many more. We already learned about it in our tutorial. And from this theme section, you can learn how you can change your themes. And from settings section, you can learn how to change settings. So basically, I learned all the shortcuts and tricks from this documentation section. So I will always tell you to follow the documentation section. Thanks for watching this video.